I put in record mode now. Okay. Hi everyone, we're now in record, and this is our first team training call we've had since the fabulous successful Success Summit on the weekend. The only thing that wasn't quite successful, I believe, is that so many of our people, regardless of the other Juice Plus people in WA, so many of our people missed out. Now that's absolutely okay, life gets in the way and we've all got different things, but what I'd like to do for the people, before I prepared a few notes, and mostly they're gems from Gordon, but just going around the screen, I just wonder if you would like to share with me anything that really happened to you, particularly on the Saturday, or even on the Friday night, because I know a few people weren't there on the Saturday, but they were on the Friday night at the leadership thing. What you feel either was it an aha moment or what you're going to do differently, or did you actually have what Gordon calls a pivot, and have you already started to plan? So Michelle Cross up the top, I'm just going to unmute you, see if your sound's working now. What did you get from the Saturday? I don't think we've got any sound with Michelle. I might go to the next person, Lovey, and then we'll come back to you. Okay. Nicole. Well, you got beautiful Carlene. Carlene, welcome to your first Angels team training call.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. So, Nicole, that was your big aha moment. We got Carlene on board. Thank goodness. So yeah. So apart from freezing all day, Nicole, what was your? Is there anything that you decided to do different?
Oh, look, I just every event or everything I listen to, it just gives me more confidence in myself, and also the, just presenting the business or the product. So it all helps. It always gives me a little bit of a nudge, and I'm going to be a bit more bold about it. It was good to listen to Gordon, Hester, and all the information about the network marketing and where it's going, and really to embrace that concept. And I'm not embarrassed about it, but I used to be. Do you know what I mean? About the network marketing, to really just go. It's the smartest business model in the world, really, because it offers the opportunity. So it was just wonderful. I gained from everything. Nat's talk was fabulous, and actually one thing I did really thought was one little bit that was helpful was Brian Marsh, and what he said was, and I thought this is good, if somebody is interested in the business, previously I might have gone over, not you, Carlene, but gone over and met with them and said, I'll go through the whole business thing, and I would have printed out stuff, and might have been a waste of time. He's like, no, if you're interested, then come to the event with me, and if they're really keen, they'll go. Otherwise, they would have wasted your time anyway. So I'm going to do that from now on. Just say, yep, I'm not going to go through anything. Just meet me, come to this event, and we'll go from there. So I thought that was a really good bit of advice, because that's what he's done.
Fantastic. I love Brian as well. I absolutely adored Gordon, everything Gordon said, but Brian was quite right there. And if you remember, we actually discussed that recently, saying that even though we've got the big training 1, 2, and 3 that I formulated, all you really need to do is just build that relationship with someone, get that trust happening, and invite them. I still would, me personally, and I'm hoping to do it if my prospect turns up in the morning, I would still get the sheet, the Fast Track Freedom Plan, and particularly highlight the bonuses they can get on the journey that I'd like to link arms with them and get along over and above their pay, and then that's it. Get them signed up, get their order in, get their username and password for the virtual office, and then do their training from then. Because really the whole idea is just getting them excited. But what Nicole is saying, for those of you who either weren't there or can't remember, basically he doesn't beat around the bush. He knows that these events that we have, like for example the events that tomorrow will do the online one tomorrow night for Design Your Life, or the alternate ones at her home. You all know when those stories start happening how powerful they are. So it's going to be far more powerful, say, for example, for me to get my prospect tomorrow to come to one of those things than for me just to sit and rabbit on and do what I can. Well, thanks for that, Nicole. Now, Miranda, you were there on Saturday. I'm just going to unmute you. What could you share with us that you, and I guess sometimes I'm looking for, like I had a breakthrough, and I've been having little mini breakthroughs, and I've had a big breakthrough, and I just wondered, did you have any big breakthroughs, or were you got your beliefs reinforced?
Yeah, for me it was belief and vision. They gave everyone this little notepad and I filled it, both sides of each page. Got so many notes. But for me it was vision and having that conviction, and just being bold and true to your vision, and making sure you've got that at the forefront as well is really important. One of the quotes, I know Nicole put it up on her page yesterday as well. Something about it. I wrote it down. I can't remember the exact words, but it was without vision, without belief, or something, was hallucination. Nicole's got it in her head. I know. I can see her saying it.
Visualization without execution is hallucination.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was right. I like to think about it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that resonated as well, even though I don't have it clear in my head. And I also loved hearing about the Amigas, just like on the call just now as well, and just how innovative it is, and that these line of products that we've got are the best on the market, second
Fantastic.
to none. And I loved hearing that again.
Beautiful. Thanks, Miranda. Carleen, would you feel as if we asked you, would it put you on the spot as a total new person who actually only did her paperwork probably today?
Yes.
What was the most exciting thing that you felt that, what part of your future that Juice Plus could be?
Okay, can you hear me?
We can, yep.
Oh, good. I think with Nicole's been fantastic in giving me a wonderful brief on the company and the way it works. Listening to Gordon, it cemented a lot of things that she had been saying, and a lot more in understanding that network marketing is really, it is the be all and end all really of getting things across to people in a way that you're not forcing them, but you are encouraging them on the health side of things. And those who are interested in, obviously, the business, you can give them wonderful opportunities. And just sidestepping to that, Nicole gave me a CD this afternoon. Nicole, I can't remember who the person is, in regards to what network marketing is also all about. So the combination has been fantastic. And I am on a big high right now in regards to what I can do to actually generate new leads. So I am, as of tomorrow, writing down the names of every single person I know. They know who's somebody else. So I can generate a list of people that I can go and start targeting. The other chap, and this is, I forget everyone's names, it's ridiculous.
Brian
the
Marsh.
Young one, Brian, he was inspirational. My goodness me, he's like the boy next door, and he is just rocketing through a most amazing journey. And the one thing I've got to get over is my partner doesn't believe in network marketing, so I've got a bit of an issue in the house.
Okay. Well, there's quite a few people in the same boat, Carleen, so stick on board. You've got a great support there in Nicole, and we all get through. And one of the things for those of you who've got partners who don't believe either, if they supposedly love you, just say to them, I accept that you don't agree with what I'm doing, but just allow me to follow what I want to do. You don't have to agree or like it, but please let me follow my dream.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no,
Colleen.
good point. Thank you.
Xavier, what about you, my love?
It is. Can you hear me all right? My
We can.
connection's really
Beautiful. No, it's
shit. I've got
perfect.
my Wi-Fi right next to my computer trying to fix it. I took 2 of those pads full of notes, but the main thing for me that I took out of it was Brian Marsh's talk about just getting absolutely clear on the whole reason why you're doing it, the reason why you want the business, the reason why you want the product. And I've pretty much I've ripped everything off my vision board, all my notes, and I'm just redoing the whole thing because I need to get clear on exactly what I want and I can't remember what he called it, that mission statement where it says, I believe, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I need to write that.
It really is your vision for the world. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Dave.
Many notes.
Okay, Michelle, are you able to speak tonight, or have you got someone asleep beside you?
No, that's okay. He's on night shift, so
Oh, beautiful. Just checking.
I actually think that for me it was something that seems really basic and stupid now that I think about it. But Tamara actually said when you're still doing things like your smoothie parties and all of those things, that we're still trading our time for money. And it's 100% true, like needing to embrace the network marketing side of the business rather than just being a direct seller. That was probably the biggest thing, and it actually really made me realize that's where I'm probably going wrong, and not necessarily going wrong, but I'm not embracing that part of the business enough. So but I mean, I actually found Nat's talk really good. I actually thought that the things that she said, like not really so much, to be honest, not really so much in a business sense, but in a personal sense. And what Brian said was, just generally inspiring. And I actually feel like he gave more information than any of the other speakers as well, like just about how to sort of find your vision, how to know where you want to be, what you need to do to, what you need to do to get to that point and all of that kind of thing. I don't think I've ever had anyone be that direct with that sort of information before. So that was really good.
Fantastic. Thanks, Reddy. I'm just going to quickly go to Michelle Beatty. Honey, you were there on the Friday night, and I must admit, all day Saturday, I kept thinking, I wish Michelle could have been actually on the Saturday and not the Friday, because seriously, Saturday was way, way better, and even from what Gordon shared. But I'm sure you must have gotten something from Friday night. Have you got anything you'd like to share with us? How you might do things differently, or any aha moments?
I guess maybe just what Nicole was saying, just kind of going back over the network marketing aspect of it, because that's one bane of my life in relation to people keep on saying it's a pyramid, blah blah blah. So it just kind of cements and assures me that I'm not trying to fool people into doing something that's not necessarily
Above
kosher.
board. Yeah.
So it's kind of cemented that for me, and that it just makes me more confident, especially when I'm trying to promote the business side of it, more than just the customers.
Beautiful. Okay, thanks for that. I have prepared some things tonight from my notes, and I'm going to try and quickly do that for you. But I also want to share with you that one of the biggest things that came for me, and it really was a pivot, and it was that breakthrough, but it had been happening for me anyway, is that I wholeheartedly, with all my heart, have always, I believe, allowed people in my team to be exactly where they want. Yes, when they don't turn up to things, I get disappointed, but it's no point getting upset with it. So when he really explains about that 90% of the people in our business are the micro entrepreneurs, and they make up a huge part of our business and a big part of our check, and just allow them to be there. And if you really are a go-getter and you want to be an NMD and you want to be more of a club than you are or whatever, if you want to help more people, you must actually just leave them be there if they need you, get on with that 10%, go and find those people who really get it like you do. Now, I've been rabbiting on about this for ages. So then today I've sort of worked out a bit of a plan and done some notes for our team call tonight. But I'm really excited about, for me, going back to what made me successful in the first place, and that's really building relationships, getting people to actually buy me, not the business or Juice Plus, actually buying me and connecting with people. And just for now, I'm putting social media aside, getting back my old good habits and trying to get out more and talk to people. And one of the speakers, I don't know whether it was Gordon or someone else, talked about like people like me who've been in the business for 19 years. You can imagine how many franchisees I've had join and leave us. Well, I've got details of so many people. So I'm going to diligently make part of that my daily method of operation. I've already contacted one today who probably hasn't been with us for 15 years. It's a guy, and I just saw that he'd come on Boxer, so I contacted him. So my big breakthrough was to be the best person in our team, so I can actually, as goes the leader, there goes the team, because I am getting customers. I'm doing customer care, but I haven't been getting franchisees. And I know how to get them, and I believe that I will. So for the 10% of the team who want to join me and really go out there, if you want to stay at anything from BF to SDVF, that's fine. As Gordon says, it's $0 to $1,000. For some people, that's an absolute blessing. If they're even getting $500 a month, it makes a big difference to their income. So if you'll just bear with me, I'm just going to quickly go through some of these notes that I've made, because as much as a lot of you were there, it might actually, when you hear it from someone else's perspective, it also might make the penny drop. Don't need to take any notes. I'm just going to go through it quickly. So Gordon said, what is freedom? So we all want freedom. Is that even the 90%ers, the micro entrepreneurs? We basically want freedom, don't we? And if we don't quite get right up their freedom, we at least want a few little treats along the way. He actually says it's actually disconnecting from any form of suffering. So it's really funny, because when we talk about freedom, just to have choice and to have enough money to do this, to do that, and have choice. But it really is disconnecting from any form of suffering. One thing I did think, though, freedom, even the freedom that so-called money can buy, it cannot actually give you health if that health just isn't there. That's one thing we've always got to remember. He says the most successful people are those who have impacted lives the most. Well, I certainly couldn't impact as many lives nursing as I can and have done with Juice Plus, so I really understood that. He says all change starts with a breakthrough. That's a moment in time when you make a decision to change, and I certainly have. Has anyone else had that breakthrough? They're going to do things quite differently. Just raise your hands if you have. You might not be quite there yet. You might want to go through your notes a little bit more, but there's so much more we can do. Great to see. Okay, success. He says success in Juice Plus is actually creating a brand full of your ideal tribe. Now, he's not actually just talking about social media there. Like our team angels and all your little, like, quite a few are in Team Unicorn, but your umbrella is Team Angels. Our tribe, we've got a tribe in Team Angels, and I'm so, so proud of our culture. And I think, we learned even more this weekend, not to compare, but I think I'm really happy with the culture we have mostly in in our team angels. But he says you basically create a brand and it's full of your ideal tribe, and that creates the great culture. And of course, you do the same on social media. He suggests being an influencer on your social media pages. And that really makes sense to me. But first of all, particularly for the people who weren't there, what actually is an influencer? Well, an influencer, they teach you how to think, they challenge you, and they are a role model in some capacity. And if you write those three things down, and every time you do a post, you think, well, am I teaching someone a nice way to think? Am I challenging someone to maybe step up and out or face some of their fears? And in some sort of a capacity, am I being a role model? And this being someone that someone will want to be a friend with, and not just a Facebook friend, that they will respect that sort of a relationship. And he says every social media post needs to serve. So as much as, we've learned in other courses we've done that it's really quality of our posts rather than quantity. We don't need to dribble on just about anything. It needs to serve, because serving gives credibility when you do posts that serve. What your followers, whether in our team or on social media, what they want to see is that you're caring. They also want to know, does this person have my best interests at heart? And does this person bring anything to the table? Because if you're not bringing anything to the table on maybe your business page or your personal timeline or whatever, you probably haven't got a good chance of getting them really following you. So as I said, I looked at team angels and I pretty much ticked all that. We need to be the person who goes the extra mile. And I loved how he said this, and some of you might not remember this, but basically he said, you can pretend to care, but you can't pretend to show up. So we really, to me, the whole thing of the weekend was it's time for action. Step up and out. It's time for action. Okay, so and also when you're doing your social media posts, because the majority of you are trying with social media anyway, ask yourself these questions. Can my audience trust me? Do I really care when I do these posts? And can I help my audience? And he says there's three possible outcomes when you're an influencer, or when you're trying to be an influencer. You're trying to convert them into a tribe member and bring them over to us. You're trying to build a relationship, and sometimes that can be delayed and takes time building a relationship, but eventually they might become part of your tribe. Or one of the possible outcomes, if you're an influencer, you might actually lose them. You might not influence them enough. Okay. Gordon, this is something I think is so important, and something that the leadership or the NMDs in WA are talking about at length in the next few weeks. He talks about the cancer that ends culture. And just very briefly, he talks about division, when there's division between all the members, when there's that sense of entitlement, and when the people in a culture, there's too many people who've got self-agendas rather than just sharing. Service to everyone's got to be tops. And then he talks about the traps of enabling, the 7 deadly sins of communication. And this is something that I really think we need to think about. And I think very luckily we don't have to worry too much, but just to be aware. We start to enable and stop empowering people when there's gossip, there's judging, there's negativity, there's complaining, there's excuses, there's lying, and there's dogmatism, which basically means authoritarianism, being a bit arrogant, and that employer attitude. So we've got a great team. We've just got to keep that culture happening. He also says our culture needs to be mission-driven. We need to strive for positive emotions, to engage with each other and to strangers. We've got to improve relationships all the time and recognise accomplishment. He also says that apart from living the mission and building relationships, we need to focus on getting new team. everyone is valuable and appreciated. And this is where he talked about the 90% being micro entrepreneurs. He says that he also called them as golden handcuffs. I don't know if you remember him saying that. He says that most people who can earn $300 to $500 a month, even if they don't go on to be absolute stars, they will stay with you and be in our team. So he says to allow this, but focus on the 10% who want to fly. And something that Linda Evenden always said, and you guys know I've said this all the time, that we're all, as much as we love each other and we have fun, we're building a business, not an orphanage. Then Gordon went on right at the very end when we thought he'd finished, talking about that pivot. I think you're going to find that the pivot is the whole crux, nothing prepared, and I think it was the absolute culmination of a great day. Because basically what he's saying is that he's telling you how to turn your passion into potential. Virtually turn your passion. We know we're all passionate about the product, probably even the business, the company, our colleagues, but we've got to change it into action. And this is why most of it, it's no good having your beliefs all in order. It's no good knowing all about everything. We've got to have action. And the majority of us, me included, don't do nearly. We've actually got the scales tilted. We don't need to know everything, guys. We need to go out there and do it. So he talks about the pivot. And the first step is, though, you sort of have a thought, you have a trigger, and you think, things aren't going well. I'm sure I can do a lot better. And you can either be dissatisfied with where things are, or you can have such a huge desire to make it bigger and better. And he does say it's much better to, when you have that trigger, that thought, before you make your pivot, it's much better for that thought, that trigger, to be a real desire rather than be a poopy, shitty dissatisfaction. And he said, then what happens, if it's desire, you've got more chance. And then that trigger, that thought, just like I'm using myself as an example, I want more. I want to see more of you successful. I'm excited. I can visualize you all on stage being NMDs. We're all cheering. And I visualize this all the time. We're all cheering. You're getting flowers. We're recognizing you. It's all great fun. And then that thought that you want more and you really desire more leads to that breakthrough. And my breakthrough is I'm really clamping down on what I do in my day. I'm going to be, to all of those of you who I do coaching with, I'll be talking to you about setting it in concrete and seeing what you want, how often you want it, and really make it very clear that it's an important thing, but we've got to be serious about it. Okay, and then once you've pulled that trigger, you've had that thought and you've decided, then you need action. But it's massive all-out action. And I don't mean necessarily contacting 10 people a day. But the most time that you've got doing your Juice Plus, sorry, I just got something come up to upgrade to Pro. I have upgraded to Pro. The most people with us, the adjustment that we've got to do, that I've got to do, and try and encourage the team to do, is to not just talk about those 5 high-paying activities, it's to darn well do them. So today, obviously, I've prepped the call tonight. I've done some customer care. I've done a few bits and pieces, and I have made 2 contacts with prospects. But the majority of my day, if I was going to make today a Juice Plus day, needs to be getting those 10% of people who want to be stars. Loving on the 90%, still helping them when they want help, but allowing them to be where they are. So it'd be interesting to see what your breakthroughs are. And I think you'll find that we'll be having a lot more training on pivots and pivoting in the next few weeks. He also says your comfort zone is slow deck. You're here, but you're not plugged in. And I think a lot of us have been not even in your comfort zone. I think some of us, we don't even know where we are. Would you agree? It's not even a comfort zone. We're just learning so much, and there's so many podcasts to listen to and conference calls and all that, instead of just doing the do. And lastly, I just want to finish with, he says, be driven. Actually, I'm not sure if this is, I think this is, yes, this is Gordon. He says to be driven. Don't just be accepting of the static in your business. Unless, if that's okay with you, it is. But for those of you who really want to make it, be driven. Don't be accepting that it is what it is. And I've been a little bit static lately, thinking, oh, it is what it is. Not anymore. Okay, he also says, don't compare. Only compare with who you see in the mirror. Even speaking to leaders, all your NMDs in WA, when we have conversations around things, all of us have done too much emphasis on comparing with other leaders. What other people do won't necessarily work for us. So we've got to stop that comparing and just do it. Look in the mirror and compare with yourself. And he just says, enjoy the journey. Enjoying the journey is more important than the destination. And I believe if you enjoy the journey, the destination will be the one you want it to be. So look, there's a lot more, and I will be next week, sorry, this Thursday I'm going to Paratha. So next Monday night, unless someone wants to step up and have a bit of a conversation on our team call, there won't be any team call unless someone contacts me. But the one afterwards, I really would like to go into some of the things that Celine and others said as well. So in the meantime, is there anything anyone would like to discuss? Anything? Oh, I know this. One more thing. You probably saw on a Facebook post from me today, tentatively Sunday, October the 15th. I was speaking to Olivia and Michelle Cross and just mentioned how we used to every now and then have like a morning tea or a breakfast or something and a workshop, and they were keen as mustard. And I thought, look, you know, a lot of the things that I've done in my 19 years, they've worked. So I'm going back to some of the things that worked. So if people want to come, they will. If they don't, they don't. So tentatively, I've just got to make sure that's okay with me, Sunday the 15th of October. Probably 10 o'clock for a morning tea workshop at my place for a couple of hours. Okie doke. Right, were there nothing in the chat? No. Anyone else, anything to say? All right, well, welcome aboard, Carlene. We hope to see lots more of newbies like you in the next month. And go do it, girls. Night, everyone.